If you're somebody that likes to shame somebody or guilt trip them or embarrass them, what does that say about you? What do you get from that? How does that make you feel? And I know a lot of us are going to say that we don't do that, but I'm pretty sure a lot of us have done this sometime in our lifetime and, perhaps caught ourselves. I know I've caught myself doing it a couple of times. Like this one girl, like she used to be my best friend. Her and I are not friends anymore. I've seen a lot of the things she did and I will hold it all in, but I'm making my judgments in my head until it got to the point where I spewed out everything that I had felt about her. And I wanted her to feel like a dog. I wanted her to feel disgusting. I wanted her to feel the lowest of the low. And that made me feel like I had the upper hand because it's like, I'm holding in all this stuff that I know about you and I'm not saying it. So now I'm going to put myself in a position to say these things to you because I've been pushed to this moment. And, I feel like that I had the right to say that, but yeah, I think it was justified. I think I can justify myself in that moment. But there was other people that were saying the same thing to her. And it was like she enjoyed being attacked in that way. It's strange as it seemed. But aside from a situation like that, let's think about somebody who doesn't ask for these things. Let's think about people that just go and live their life. And let's say we don't like the way that their hair looks. So we're going to say the nastiest things to them about their hair. And it's just not coming out of a place of love, like not saying, yeah, that hairstyle really don't fit you. I think you should try something else. It's, insult after insult, joke, putting it out there for other people. You're talking to other people about it. What does that do for you? How does that make you feel as an individual? Because to me, it's showing a lot about you without, saying too much. If you guys understand what I mean. But with the mental health crisis that we have in this country, have anybody ever stopped to think like, am I adding to somebody's mental health, decline? Am I adding to their depression? Am I adding to their anxiety? If somebody looking in the mirror thinking that they shouldn't wear that dress because they know that I've said a nasty comment about the dress before, even though that dress makes them feel good about themselves. Have we ever taken the time to stop and think about little tidbits like that? That's how logical my mind is, and it's just always going like that. And I stop at times to fully process situations, and certain things I just let it. If it comes across my mind, I just let it go. It's no point in harping on it too long. But we're in a society today where, our judgment, we expect it to be supreme. We want to make people feel as low as how we're feeling. And everything is a competition. So that amps it up also because we're always looking at the next person as our competition. And we always want what they have. And if they're not doing something in the way that we're doing it, we're putting our judgment on it when we could not even be close to their situation. Let's say people love to comment when millionaires, when they don't drive a $100,000 car. If they're not driving that, us regular people, we're commenting on that. We're putting our shaming tactics and trying to embarrass them because they're not doing something that we would do if we had that money. Now, me personally, when I become a millionaire, let's say that when I become a millionaire, I still want to have a VW van. That's what I want. That is the car that I want. That is my dream vehicle. And there's going to be people that are saying, why are you driving that when you have X amount of money? First of all, why are we clocking their money? That has nothing to do with us. And, millionaires, they can spend their money how they want to. Just because you're deciding to drive a Honda and you're worth $10 million, that just shows that you're smart in spending your money. That just shows that, you're not just thinking about yourself. But, millionaires, they can spend their money in other ways also. A car is a car. in my opinion. But there are people, a lot of people that think like that, because you have X amount of money, that this is the lifestyle that you should be living. And that is also a broke mindset, in my opinion. That is a way that's going to keep you just not getting ahead. Not saying that you shouldn't treat yourself when you do have money. Even if you really don't have money like that, you should treat yourself, because we're kings and queens. Like, we're royalty. You don't want to be treating yourself like as a peasant, but you also want to be smart about the things that you do also. But yeah, something like that just never made sense to me. And I know somebody that's like that. Like, think that every time you're making an X amount of money, that you need to be putting your money in these sorts of places, when it's like, bruh, that's how you go bankrupt. But yeah, the society that we're living today, it just makes everybody like on edge and extremely uncomfortable, when you're supposed to live life for yourself. You're supposed to be doing what makes sense to you. Why you don't think it's silly? And I'm pretty sure, like, if the person that's doing the judging, I'm pretty sure that they would feel silly also, if somebody were to go off of what they say, like actually take what they say into consideration. Because it's like, why are you altering your life because of what I said? Or they can look at it on the flip side, like, yeah, I see you took what I said into consideration, but I would not harp too much or worry too much about what other people need to comment on the way that I'm choosing to live my life, because I'm doing something right if I'm living my life the way that I want to. And the people that do pass the judgments, those are like roadblocks. Those are roadblocks on your path getting through life, because they want to get in your head. You know, if they get in your head, that shows that they win. When you completely ignore them and continue to do what you're doing, you know, they can't win. But when they feel like they're able to control you, they're going to continue that. So it's like, where do you draw the line? Where do you stick up for yourself? Where do you say stop? You're like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, how does that make you feel when you're judging, shaming, or guilt tripping somebody into living the life that you want them to live, instead of them living the life that they want to live? Especially if they're not harming anybody. They're just being their regular, schmegular self, not bothering anybody. But them not bothering anybody bothers you. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.